So I ended up giving Genshin Impact another try. The first time I played it, I didn't give it a fair shot. Before I get into everything, I'm going to make this very clear. I'm keeping this video solely focused on Genshin. There will be no comparisons being made to anything else. It will be only focused on the goods and the bads that this game has. So the reason I played this game the second time around for as long as I did was because Columbina was on the banner. So I farmed primos until I could hopefully pull her, and it wasn't until this.
You can call me Columbina, or Kutar, or Moon Goddess. Whatever you prefer. I'm used to having many names. The moon's blessing is yours, whenever you might find yourself in need.
A character solely focused on the moon is what captivated me, mainly because I just love everything involving the moon, space, etc. I also love Lucy from Edgerunners, so her voice actress voicing this character really made me want to go for her regardless of having a team that complements her. That's when I saw the materials needed to actually upgrade Columbina. This is where I had to make the choice. Either leave the game as it is and just be happy I won my first 50-50 in this game and move on, or sit back and play through the story to where I can get the materials. So that's what I did. Now this is where I'm going to take an approach that one of my acting professors taught me a few years back. In my directing course, I got heavily drilled in the notion of saying the positives before the things that need work. So let's start with the positives. Since this is a narrative-based game and does fall perfectly in line with my job, the story itself, from what I was able to pay attention to before my immersion got constantly ruined by Paimon speaking, it was pretty good. But I do need to state one thing before we get into the pros and the cons officially. During the time I was studying my craft, while in my script writing class, the professor told us to be wary of excessive exposition. Keep to the rule of show and don't tell. And this is where my main issue with Genshin starts to show up. Genshin relies too heavily on tell and don't show, heavily reliant on excessive exposition. And before I get comments of imagine not wanting to read in a story-based game, I don't mind reading. I have to read scripts, study them excessively so that I can perform characters believably. Here, I'll give an example.
I'm sorry?
It's David. From the frame shop. You had a painting framed on Tuesday?
Oh, right, David. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's no problem, you know. You asked me to come here to sing?
I did?
You don't remember.
I remember you said you liked my painting, and I said you should come hear me sing.
Right, and I said okay, and here we are.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming.
David. It's David.
I mean, this is just preemptive, you know? I wanted to see a counselor before we get married. Just get a head start on things, you know?
We just wanted to get a head start on the engagement.
So, Grace, you don't have any complaints?
Sometimes he leaves his dirty clothes around the house.
Why don't you put away your laundry? It's not that hard.
I mean, I do. Eventually.
It sounds like there's a lack of respect here.
Babe, have I made you feel disrespected?
No.
Pineapple! Shit. No, not shit. Pineapple. Shakespeare? Shakespeare. Pineapple Shakespeare! Rosencrantz? Pineapple Rosencrantz! Pineapple Rosencrantz! Don't you fucking dare leave me in here! However, the moment the cutscene started playing, I was engaged. But the moments they were over, my focus started to withdraw. Now, let's begin with the pros. The atmosphere. Something I love to do in open world games is explore. The sound of the rain, the random thunderstorms, etc. They were all very good. There were a few times that the pouring rain started to engulf my eardrums and it brought me a sense of calm. This small detail with the combination of sound effects that the characters walking around was a very nice touch. The music. A lot of the songs were good, whether that be the few bosses I fought or just in general.
Do you even know how many times you've tried to take my gnosis from me?
But this is where I have to include an unfortunate part. While I'm writing the script, there hasn't been a song that made me completely stop what I was doing and just listen. Haven't had a moment where the hairs on my arm stood up. I don't know if that changes later on in the story, but with where I'm currently at, I don't know if I can genuinely continue. Cutscenes. When these do appear, there is a charm to them. The ones I've been able to really hone in on have really solidified the sheer amount of text that was being tossed out prior. There have been countless times my attention have strayed from what was said, only to be cleared up with the cutscenes. Characters. There are a few characters that once they appeared on the screen, I got drawn in.
My dear people.
I hadn't really had this happen the majority of the time, but it started with Farina, then Nuvolette, I hope I'm saying that name right, and major props to Jehoda, I think I'm saying that name right too, but being the singular character from what I've gone through to not be stiff in the constant yapping sessions. And of course, I'm very biased towards Columbina from what I stated already, but Llama and Nefer were a saving grace too. Now the cons. Primogems. Gathering enough Primogems for pulls felt like scraping the bottom of a barrel. You barely get any for opening chests. There are the random moments you get more in various encounters, but it got to a point that I didn't even care about looting a chest. Combat. The combat is way too simplified. Even with the very beginner units minus the 1 5-star I managed to pull, I don't feel satisfied with the combat. Yes, there is the combination of various elements, but that still feels very meh to me. Now, I need to preface this next point with a condition I have. I have misophonia. It was triggered heavily whenever Paimon would deliver her dialogue.
Shooing us away!
Stay out of this.
Hey, looks like they've...
If Paimon was taken out of the picture, my enjoyment for this game would have drastically improved. That character is the sole reason I was constantly taken out of the immersion. But as soon as I swapped to the JP language, that completely changed. So I'll balance this portion out primarily because of the language change, so it's both a pro and a con. Inner monologue. I don't know how many times there was dialogue present with the traveler, but that inner monologue wasn't voiced. I didn't realize this whole game was basically a visual novel. Main character. My biggest issue with this game. Who the fuck is the main character? I can't figure out if it's supposed to be Paimon or the traveler. Maybe it's explained later on in the story, but I just can't get myself to even open the game and continue. However, with everything I've experienced so far, the traveler takes a back seat to everything, while some other characters spring into action. The best way I can describe the feeling is dissociation. I literally feel like I'm watching someone else's story other than the character that I'm playing. Now, if you enjoy this game, or have been playing it for however many years, don't let my take on this feel like a personal attack. I'm not directing this towards anybody. It's what I observed while playing and ultimately realized this game just isn't for me. And that's totally okay. If you enjoy it, I'm happy for you. I'm glad there's a game like this that you can enjoy. I'm also sorry to whoever lost their 50-50 so that I can win on Columbina.